Welcome to the Hot Rod Hangout Podcast.
Whoop whoop.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Ashley.
And tonight we have Mr. Simon Havokin from Simon Says Garage. What's going on, man?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Yeah, you got that white stuff going on up there, man.
Yeah, it's just never ending lately. Never ending.
So what originally got you into cars in general?
Like a lot of people, I was born into it, man. My dad was always into cars. He always had aspirations of building cars and fixing them up, but most of his experiences that I saw were just trying to keep him running and keep him on the road, just keep him going.
Yeah, that's it's good whenever a lot of people that come on have that, their dads were into it, and then to see how far, the next generation took it, and it's awesome to see. I don't have any kids of my own, but it's awesome to see the kids getting in with their dads and stuff like that. A lot of the guys that I've talked to here recently, are including their families, they're building cars for the family to be able to come with them. That's always good.
I usually build all of mine to have a seat. I got a 13-year-old daughter, and she always wants to come with. So if it's only a two-seater, she's riding shotgun with me every time. So I usually try to build four-seaters. Not every time, but I usually try to build four-seaters so everybody can go for a ride. But yeah, otherwise I got enough. My wife can drive her own too, so no big deal.
Yeah, you got a couple in the fleet.
I do. Too many.
No, never enough, man. Never enough. So speaking of that, what is currently the favorite car?
Oof. I've been asked this question a few times by different people, and I always seem to vary on my answer depending on the situation. So I have my two favorite cars right now. I'm just going to put it that way. Is my '54 Bel Air. It's not my overall favorite car, but it's so reliable. It's so dependable. It's a workhorse. It's four-wheel drive. It's LS. It's 54 Bel Air. That four-door, so we can all hop in as a family and go wherever. I've driven it to Ratstock twice and back. It tows trailers. It just does the job. Yeah. My second favorite would be my 51 shoebox, which I have called the Stroke Box because it's powered by a 7.3 Power Stroke. So that I've always loved lead sleds. I wanted to try and build a lead sled. I did that for the previous build-up for Rat Rod magazine. Did a lot of stuff on that car I'd never done in my life before and learned a lot of stuff on that car, but that is my current favorite car as well. So between the two of them, it's really a toss-up on the day.
I get that because Ashley has a 54 210, and then I'm building the 62 Cadillac, and I always say my favorite car is whichever one's running that day. But right now we messed up because neither one of them is running, so it's the 54, 54 finally gave up. 235 finally gave up in it. So I have a small block waiting for it, but the Cadillac is taking up the space that I need to get it on the concrete to be able to do the swap. So it's I
understand that pain.
And I've never messed with Terminator X or Max X. So I got everything in and it's all hooked up. And then the loose wires, I'm like, where in the hell is that supposed to go? And where? I'm like, it cranks. That we got it to it where it cranks. But
big step.
But the Cadillac had the different pattern for shifting.
Yeah.
So neutral's all the way at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So first gear is all the way at the bottom, so that's where it wants to start right now. And obviously not a good idea to start in gear.
No,
so
not usually. I've done that before.
We have to figure out how to bypass the neutral safety switch. And it's going to sit on the ground, so it's not like it really needs to.
Yep.
So
what to make it work sometimes, right?
Yeah. And there's something pretty special that's coming for that car that the internet can't know about yet because I don't want to say that I'm going and then it not make it. So we're going to get a little bit closer. Our deadline's a little closer than y'all's build off. So What is the plan for the build off? What
I picked up a 1941 Chevy Special Deluxe two-door sedan. I got this car a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly when I got it. A guy called me when I was in the middle of building the shoebox and asked, "Hey, do you want this car? It's free. You can have it. You just got to go to Bloomington and dig it out of somebody's backyard." There's trees growing through it, the whole works. Thankfully, he cut all the trees for me, but we had to drag it out from behind the house and whole yard, 9 yards, right. And I don't know if not sure if you're familiar with Bloomington, Minnesota, but it's a suburb of the city, so it's right in town. And I got a lot of weird looks from some neighbors, and it is what it is. But we got it out, we got it home, and it's been sitting waiting to be built. And I wanted to do something a little more over the top from what I'm used to doing. I never like to build the same car twice. I always like to change it up, and I've already done that one, so I don't want to do that again. I want to do this one now. So this one's going to be different in some ways. I don't want to put too much out there yet because I'm just getting going on it, but there's going to be metal work. There's going to be full custom. It's never going to look the same after I put that first video out. So it's coming. It's started. I haven't got as near as far as I would have liked to by now because my work is weather dependent and the weather has been very hindering. But it'll pay off on the other end, so it'll be fine. It's just delayed me currently, so I'm working on it.
Yeah, that your the stroke box is. We were watching the video of you. I think it was rendition 2 of the Suicide Doors.
Yeah.
When you stole your wife's hinges off of her truck. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I was like,
dude, if it's at my house, it's fair game.
I was like, in theory, it looks like it's going to work. Like, I was with you. And then I'm like, but it's really, really, 41 door hinges aren't real strong. And you trying to, the first one, you made my day because I'm like, you put the first one in. And I was like, you opened the door and it sagged. And I went, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. And then the next thing, I was like, all right, yep, a little bit stronger. And watching, I've been watching your YouTube for a while, long before this. That was why whenever, well, man, I like the style of builds, and I've said this pretty much all of y'all's episodes. The rat rod, the way that most of y'all build rat rods, kind of speaks to me in the fact of it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It's get it running, go have fun with it. Y'all can tweak it as it comes, fix what breaks as it comes. And also the community behind the Rat Rod Magazine build-offs, and then also what Jeremiah is doing now is way better than a lot of the other avenues of the car world where it's got to be perfect, don't look at it wrong, shiny
Absolutely.
paint, and my Cadillac's getting shiny paint. Correct. My Cadillac's getting shiny paint, and I fought it as long as I could, but it's like this is going to be the first thing that has shiny on it. So,
no.
But there is also bead roll interior panels and stuff like that. So I'm putting a little bit of my twang on it. Can you give us information on, do you know what chassis and stuff you're going with, or any little sneak peeks?
No, the only thing I have for sure is the body.
Okay.
I have ideas. I have the rear end. So when I built the shoebox, I took all the drivetrain, motor and transmission at least, out of a 2002 Excursion. Mm-hmm. And I've been sitting on these axles. They've just been laying in the field at my buddy's place since I took them out. The front axle was bent, so I didn't really know what I was going to do with that, but it had the rear axle there still. So it's probably going to get the 1-ton Ford rear end, airbag suspension. Just as far as the motor, I literally just yesterday had somebody offer me a Coyote motor for it to buy from them. I'm like, I don't know if I want to learn a new motor this year. It's enough work as it is, I mean, figuring out how to make that power stroke work was enough. So I might do something that I've already done motor wise, whether it be LS, whether it be block. I'm not 100% sure on any of that yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to start building the car, and whatever the car ends up being is what I'm going to build. I'm not going to build something just for a build off. I'm going to build a car that I want. And it just so happens to coincide with the build off, if that makes sense. I'm not building a showpiece that just is only going to show up in the build off and never be seen again.
Right.
I drive my cars all over the place. So, I mean, like the Stroke Box and the Bel Air, they make 3-hour one-way trips every weekend in the summertime. So they get some miles put on them. So whatever I build will be driven, and it'll be what I want.
That's good. And that's another aspect of that side of the car stuff that I dig. Y'all aren't scared to put them in the wind. You're not scared to drive them. And especially the build-off style cars, you see them pop back up again. It's not the Riddler or America's Best or anything like that where they show them once and then they kind of disappear and never to be seen again. And it's like, no, get the car out, let people enjoy it. And even some of the other, I hate to call it influencers or YouTubers, you see them build a badass car and then they show up somewhere and it's like, where's y'all just spent like a year building this car. Where's the car at? Oh, we brought something over. And it's like, oh, okay, well, you should show it off like that. That'd kind of be cool to see how you did that. I was building a Model A, and I follow somebody, I'm going to say their name, but they built a badass Model A, and I wanted to see how they did their front end because I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And we went to like 3 different shows, and they weren't there. And I was like, the car wasn't there. They were there, and I'm like, bring something different. Come on, man. Like,
if I'm at a show, I've got a car. There ain't no way I'm going to a show without a car.
And they would bring a car that they had, or like, and it's like, oh man, like, the one that you just built, like I need to see it closer.
And I get the logistics of sometimes it doesn't always work out, and that'll work. But yeah, I got to build them to drive them for me. I know people like to trailer them, and that's cool too. As long as I get to see it eventually, I guess that'd be okay.
Well, I used to be a big one of like I don't trailer my stuff, but then certain times it's like. I went on a 10-day road trip with another podcast and Ken Sainer with Bad Idea Customs. And we were talking about doing a build off, and the other podcast was like, oh, I'm going to trailer it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of gay, but whatever. Like, the whole point of this was we were going to like road trip together, but all right, cool. And he's like, well, there's something to say about putting it in the box and only taking 2 days to get there instead of 4. And I was like,
absolutely.
You're right. Because it was 6,000 mile round trip for us, and it was going to be like 3,000, 4,000 for them. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And it's,
am I gonna hurt when I get there, or I'm gonna be, exhausted from fatigue of driving? As fun as they are to drive, they can be a bit fatiguing sometimes. Even stuff that's really well built,
Well,
the way they're built, the way they are, they're old school.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I was building a 29 4-door Model A, chop channeled, hydraulic suspension front and rear.
All kinds of room.
Yeah, the transmission was in the car with me.
Yeah.
No shifter, just reach up and grab the wrench that was attached to the, it was not built for that, but I was like, well, I'm broke. So I either have to build her car, which West Coast is slam full of 49 to 54 Chevrolets. So I was like, well, I don't really want to build her car. And I'm like, well, the only other thing I got is this Model A. And she pointed out, like, she's like, I'm down. But, like, what are we going to do for luggage? And I was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing.
Man.
She's like, it's 14 days. And I was like, yeah. And then I got offered the Cadillac, and I was like, all right, that's got a back seat. It's got a trunk. I got plenty of room to put air ride stuff. Like, we're good. And then the build-off kind of tinkered out. I was like, dang. All right, well. But what is, we all have it. What is unlimited budget? What's the car you're building?
Oh man, I've got so many ideas in my head that I'd love to build if I had the skill and the budget. It's one thing to have the budget, but to have the skill to do it is the other part of it. I don't even know. I used to have like this narrowed down list. This is the car I have to have and I want to have. And building these cars that I have over the last few years, I've learned that I don't know that I have a particular one car must have on my list car. It's going to be what hits me in the moment when I see it and like that's the one, you know. I mean, sometimes I'm just a little more, I don't want to say set in my ways, but it's got to speak to me a little bit. You know, I don't have that. It was always the 57 Bel Air before, and they're cool, but there's so many of them now. I like the obscure stuff you don't see. And I usually like smaller cars with bigger motors or stuff that isn't supposed to be together. Like Chris Walker is a prime example of
Yes.
what he built. I can't even hold a candle to that guy, but you know, just stuff like that.
What class are you in for the high class track?
And blue collar.
Blue collar. Okay.
Blue collar, yeah.
I didn't know if you did this for your job or if there was other job.
No, my job is highway maintenance, man. I don't.
Oh, okay.
This is all just me on the side on the weekends, an hour a night, maybe 2 hours a night, depending on what's going on with work, and weekends just grind on weekends. Like there's probably gonna be a lot less car shows this summer. Not that I don't want to go to them and hang out with folks, but
yeah,
I got to be where I got to be because this car is not going to get done.
Right. I like the fact that he gave y'all a little bit more time than like some of the other build offs.
Right. I'm nervous about that I'm going to see that being the ADHD I am, that it's like, oh, I got plenty of time. 3 weeks from whenever the deadline is, it's going to be, oh, I should have not said that a lot of times.
We just got to get it done so you have time to tweak it.
Yeah. I'm hoping to be driving it this summer. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. I built the stroke box to get it to rat stock. I built that in whatever it was, 10 or 11 months from pulling it out of the field to running and driving.
Yeah, that was...
So...
Well, speaking of shows, what's a show or event that you try to make every year?
Rat stock. Rat stock is just something you have to experience. What Rad Rod Magazine has done with that show is incredible in the short period it's been around. Mm-hmm. It's just growing by leaps and bounds, and they're adding to it constantly. They're always trying to make it better, and it's just such a cool place. The venue itself is amazing. And then just the community that's there, the people that's there, everybody's laughing and having a good time and enjoying everybody's cars. And there's so much stuff to look at. You can't even grasp it all. I mean, like I go to Back to the 50s. That's a must-go-to show for myself as well. But Back to the 50s, you know, you can walk down the street and see, I don't know, 10 or 12 cars that are the exact same. So you don't need to stop and look at every car. You go to Radstock, every one of them is uniquely different. And there's so much there. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's one. Ratstock is on our list of shows that we want to make it to eventually. With being where we're at,
I would recommend.
With being where we're at currently, everything's like up before we can head in a direction. So it's kind of like I got 3 hours before I even get out of the state of Florida. So it's like.
Yeah, I hear you there. And you guys got crazy shows down there too, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys can do them year round. That's
I was just about
people talk about where it's warm all the time, but then I'm always thinking to myself, when would I ever build anything? So if I'm always out at car shows every weekend, there's no like build season. In Minnesota, where I'm at, we have a like dedicated build season for the most part.
And that's I forget who it was. But it was one of the builders, and he was like, oh, I just want to come to Florida. And I was like, no. And he's like, what? I'm like, no. Like, I get that we car show every month. There's something going on. I said, but we can't tear our stuff down. So, like, when it comes out, it's out. There's no, oh, I'll tear it down and do this to it later. It's when you bring a car out, it's out. Other than, like, wheels or... you know, maybe shooting some poppies on top of the paint or something like that, you're not, because you have a couple weeks and then you're at another show or another event or something. And I was getting ready to say, our show, the hangout. By the time this comes out, everybody will have already missed it. But January 3rd, our weather is way better. Come down to Don Garlett's museum. It's the hangout. We try to mimic hanging out in front of Don Garlett's garage. If you've never been to the museum, it's epic. It's always a good time.
That's awesome. I wish I was closer. I was highly likely to be there. That's a haul for me.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't done that drive to Florida multiple times, especially in the wintertime. But
I talked to, I don't know, I think that he was in Utah. And I'd said, hey, is there a show you've never been to? And I was like, oh, you should come to our show. And he's like, yeah. He's like, if I could get out of Utah, I think I'd be fine. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think of that. Because it's like 70 here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. It was 40 a day here in Minnesota. That's pretty good because 2 days ago it was negative 13. So
yeah,
40 feels really good.
That was Mario and Kendra Kalea live in Ontario, and he had posted something like, "Oh, I wanted to test drive this car before I had to put it up." And he's like, "But snow fell." And I was like, oh, dang, it's 72. And he was like, yeah, we hope to be in the double digits by the end of the week. And I'm like, huh?
It's huge, man.
He's like, yeah, it's negative 13. And I'm like, no, thermometers don't go negative. There's no such thing as negative temperatures. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you get to put your stuff away and maintain them and do more stuff to them and change them and build them.
Absolutely. I enjoyed building them as much as I enjoyed going to the shows. Yeah. Even though I may cuss and swear and be pissed at myself and was frustrated with myself, I still really do enjoy it.
It's weird, but I completely understand that. And that was, I always joke, like, cussing, screaming, throwing a screwdriver, and then it finally works, and you're like, good. I almost lost my cool there.
I actually probably did lose my cool.
Me and Ashley.
Nobody ever sees that part, though.
Because Ashley never really was into cars or got the opportunity to be into cars until she met me. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go out to the garage. And she's like, okay, have good. I'm like, no, you can come with me if you want. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, come on, hang out. And I got frustrated and, a tool ended up skirting across the floor and it finally worked. And I get up, she's like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what? I almost lost my cool. And she's like, no, you cussed and threw something. And I was like, nah, that's not what happened. You don't remember that. It's like, no, it's not a thing. Because it's, as frustrating as it is, it's little tiny successes every time you go out.
It's rewarding. Like I did something tonight that I am super proud that I was able to pull off. Like I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, and it worked out. Like, wow. Like now I'm nervous I can't match it on the other side. I can't just be happy that it's done. I'm like impressed that I did it, but now I'm like, my brain instantly goes to, can I make the other side match? We'll get through it.
That is one thing, and I admire some of y'all that because I'll watch some of y'all cut stuff up, and I'm like, I just wish I had the cojones, man. Because y'all cut it up, and I'm like, how in the hell is that going back together? And then all of a sudden, it's just like a puzzle. And I'm like, it looked like y'all knew what y'all were doing there. And sometimes I'm questioning it, but other times it's like, oh yeah, you knew you were gonna. It's like I can't. And maybe it's just because I haven't had the opportunity to do it enough. But when I cut the roof off the Model A, I was like, oh my God, what? And it's a straight chop. And I was still like, oh man.
Yeah. When I chopped the Ford, the shoebox, my God, I was like, what did I get myself into? Like, I seriously thought I made a bad decision, and it's far from perfect. I had that thing on and off the car like 3 or 4 different times trying to get everything lined up, and then I would cut something and realize I shouldn't have cut that, and I'm trying to put it back the way it was before I cut it. Oh my God. But we get it as close as we can get it, and we run it, we just drive it.
Just or watching people, that's all another thing that amazes me. Watching somebody take, obviously there's people that have way better tools, but like watch somebody take a flat piece of metal and make a buck of a fender, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, beat this with a hammer, and I'm like, that's where mine would look. That's about as smooth as I could get it right there. And then 5 minutes later, they're English wheel or slapper or whatever, and all of a sudden it's smooth again. And I'm like, wait, rewind, try that again. Well, how did you do that?
And like everybody else with the YouTube and the videos and everything else, and your algorithm starts showing you what you've like paid attention to, and
yeah,
mine's always like metal fab and metal work and engine stuff, and I'm like watching, I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then I go out in the garage and it's like a monkey trying to put a puzzle together. Just not even close. Like, how did you do that? It doesn't make sense to me sometimes.
Oh, and also the thought process. Like, Carl Fisher just had Bad Chad at his shop and was showing him the tucking fork, and oh, well, if you beat it here, then the metal can't escape, and it has no choice but to do this. And I'm like, I'd have never thought of that. I'd have beat that joker straight again.
I've watched that video, exactly what I know exactly what you're talking about. And I thought to myself, that's really good information to know.
Yes.
No way am I ever going to remember that in the time when I'm going to need that. I'm out there today bending sheet metal over a freaking wrench and a piece of exhaust pipe, just trying to make it look somewhat like the shape I wanted. I figure if I get in the ballpark, that's good. Let's rock it,
So what is a show or event that you've never made that you would like to make?
Rat City Ruckus down in Vegas. Yeah. And Starboard. I've never been to Starboard. I'd really like to go to that.
Starboard this year is going to be cool. Zach Parks is chopping a 34 for Randy Jackson.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
So Zach Parks got the live chop this year. So I don't know if...
Pretty cool. Plus they're giving away the Detour T come down there this year. Unless if you're familiar with that, the Detour T at all. It was a Model T that was being built to raise money to help Chris Walker with a fight for cancer.
I remember I didn't know that the Detour T. I remember the logo of Detour for Chris Walker.
Yep. So there's a car I helped where I can, but they built a Model T that's still currently being built under the Rust Redemption projects that they're going to be raffling off. People can buy tickets, and the giveaway is at Starboard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet car so far.
Oh, that's another one of our bucket. We thought about trying to go out, but we're gonna have conflicting. Yeah, day job. Fortunately, my wife works from home, so she can work anywhere. So if I can get off, we can go do stuff because she can work on the road. But it just money.
Oh yeah, man, I get it. It's not cheap to go anywhere anymore.
No. Well, and if you go somewhere, it's not even the getting there part that's the expensive part. If the hotel knows that there's stuff going on, rates go up. Yeah, and because 2 years ago we went to Turkey, and I think we paid Turkey Ride Run in Daytona, and I think we paid like $400 from Thursday to Sunday. And last year we looked it up and it was like $900, and I'm like, I can't.
Once you get all your food and everything on top of that,
and then you got food, you're gonna get a souvenir, and some of these shows, and I know people say this about our show, but some of these shows ask ridiculous amounts of money for registration.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. But there's expenses that go along with that, and insurances they got to cover, and property rental if they got to rent a property to put it on. So I understand parts of that, but there's some expenses there, and people forget some of that, how much that can charge people, and especially if you're doing it all the time.
Well,
If
and
you're going places all the time, I don't know how you keep up.
This will be our second year doing the hangout, and I thought like you just call somebody up and go, hey, I want to do a car show, and they go, cool, and you like tell people, and they show up, and you have a car show. And it was, like out of all the shows, like that's kind of what it boiled down to. Like I didn't really think of, and it was just not thinking it through. But then it's like you call somebody up, and you go, hey, I want to do this, and they're like, yeah, cool. What is it? I'm like, car show. Oh yeah, no. I'm like, well, just a minute ago you were game. Now you're no. Or you call somebody up, hey, it's one day car show. Okay, yeah. $5,000. I'm like, for what? The grass? Like,
oh, man.
Yeah, that's it. Or insurance, porta potties, dumpsters. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it that I didn't, But then somebody like, oh, you charge too much, and I'm like, I just paid this man $4,000 to do this. Like, we trust me, I'll make a dime. Our goal is to break even at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, we give away anything a profit. So, what is one? You said your daughter's. She anytime the car's moving, she wants to be there. Does your wife put up with it, or is your wife as car as you are?
She's definitely not as car as I am, but she knows if she wants me to have any kind of sanity and peace in my life, it has to be a part of it.
Okay.
Like, it's just the way it is. Like when I was younger and living in apartments and everything, I had to have something to do to get through the winter. Specifically, I had to have model cars or RCs or whatever I could get my hands on to keep my brain and my hands busy. Otherwise, I go stir crazy bad. So she definitely does not enjoy it, but it's not her number one thing.
Ashley always jokes that I'm 100% car and she's 90%.
Yeah, she's probably 90% too. She loves going to the shows, and we have so many friends that we go to the shows with all the time, so she enjoys doing all that too. But, some weekends she's like, I don't really want to go. I want to go do this. Well, that's cool. I'll be at the car show. I'm still got a car.
Have you built her a car, or is it just she drives your stuff?
She drives my stuff. She would prefer more factory stock. Like, pull it out of the barn, give it a bath, get it running, drive it as it is. That I can't. My dad was kind of that way too. He preferred factory and stock, and it can't. It's not me. I just can't. So we had a truck that she wanted me to build for her, and then she decided that she didn't want me to build it anymore. So now she's just like, I'll just drive whatever you build, whatever it is. It's like she drove the stroke box this year for the first time, and she's like, that wasn't that bad. I'm like, I know. I drive it everywhere. But she drives the Bel Air. She'll drive that thing like a daily to work, everything.
Nice.
But her favorite, she definitely has a car on her list, and that's a 64 Mustang. She wants a 64 Mustang.
That's Ashley.
So I'm like, well, we find one maybe, but good luck.
Oh, that's, I always joke that the 54 is Ashley's. The 54 was ours, and that it never was supposed to hang around. It was supposed to just be like the car that got her interested in cars, so then we could trade and figure out where we wanted to go. And then it kind of was like, it hung around long enough, and I kind of was getting over it, and she was like, I like it. And I'm like, well, then you can have it. I'm building a Model A. And she was like, cool. So then it was just like, she's put it up for sale a couple of times, and somebody will give her a crap, somebody will say something bad about it, and then she's like, screw you, I'm not getting rid of it. I like it too much. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, it's tattooed on me. And it was never supposed to be attached to the podcast. And then she went and won the Bad Apple Rat Rod Bash with it. And after I told her that she wasn't going to win shit, and then she ended up getting a trophy, and it was the only trophy that I said I wanted to win on a podcast because it's a CNC cut bad apple. And
nice.
She won it. Her and Hannah, we argued with the guy that they didn't win, and he's holding the paper that said they both won a trophy. And they're both like, it wasn't us. Like, it was. This
awesome.
Is you, right? Yeah, okay. So, but she enjoys the car. She wants an automatic. So the small block and turbo 350 that was going in my Model A can go in her car. I've went through it, so I know what the motor is. I do have to get a new intake for it because she doesn't want me to cut a hole in the hood for the tunnel ram. So,
see, that's the stuff, man. That's the stuff I want to do. If it can be modified, I want to do it.
Yeah, she is gonna let me leave the Gilmore belt drive, so it looks like it has a blower belt on it. So she's gonna let me leave that, but she doesn't want the 2 carbs sticking out through the hood. And I'm like, okay,
well, it's probably not such a bad thing in Florida with the rainstorms that come through. It's probably not such a bad thing in Florida with the rainstorms that come through all the time. Keep that motor covered up so you're not getting your carbs all wet. Yeah, I like it.
Just throw a tennis ball in them. You're good.
Perfect. What's stopping you then?
I got to get this Cadillac done. And I'm not like the body guy, and this car's got to be straight. It's getting nice paint. Psycho with the Psycho Lincoln is painting it, and it's getting low rider graphics, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a body man. I'm cutting rust out after having her car for like 3 years and not cutting a lick of rust out of it and just driving it,
I'm always so impressed with body guys that people that are really good at it. Like, how do you get that panel so flat? Like, how? I can't. I don't have the patience for it. Is the big thing. Like, I'm more like, oh, that's done. Move on. Yeah, I didn't quite finish welding that. I got to go do this now. And I don't have the patience for it.
I had a buddy come over because there was some cancer in the bottom of the car or bottom panels of the car. And he come over and he like drew the squares and he cut it out and he tacked in the panels, and he's like, okay, all you got to do is just, go back and tack the panel and then grind it smooth and everything's good. And I learned something. I was like, oh, well, it doesn't have to be, because I was thinking, dude, there's curves there. How are you going to do that? I kind of find out, I'm like, it's really not that hard. You just get it close and then you can make it right. And I was like, okay, that makes me a little bit like I could do the other side. But it's still just tacked in from where he left it because I haven't went out there and tacked it anymore because it's like, oh, I could go do other stuff now. Yep. And then he ended up going back to Texas. So now I'm like, I have to do the other side. I'm like, or I could just wait for it to go up to Georgia for it to get painted and I can have somebody else do it. And then,
there you go.
It's like, because I just, and again, it comes down to like the Model A, I had no trouble like cutting on it and beating it. And yeah, that's close enough. This car, for some reason, like I know it has to be shiny and it has to be straight. So it's like, I don't know if I can do that.
There's a lot more square footage on that Cadillac versus that Model A too.
A couple feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was when we went and picked it up. I had a 16-foot trailer and I did not estimate that, it's a 21-foot car. It's like I shove it on there and 4 foot of the car's hanging off the ass end of the trailer. The trailer pulled like shit. It was great. And I had a big old smile on my face. Like it was good.
It's perfect. It fits its chips.
Yes. It got home. We're good. It made it home. That's all that matters. So other than the build-off car, do you have any other projects going on?
Not right now as we are in winter. Right now, it's strictly going to be the build-off car. I've only got I don't say only. I know people have less than that, but I have a 2-car garage,
Okay.
and when you're building the car and doing a lot of stuff in there, it takes up a lot of room and space. And my work tends to spread everywhere. It doesn't just stay localized to where I'm working because I'm kind of a scatterbrain and I'm all over the place. So currently, right now, it's just the build-off car. This spring, I will do some more on the Bel Air because that's going on the 66 tour for Rat Rod Magazine this year. So I'm going to pull that back in the garage and spiff it up a little bit more, make it a little nicer for the long road trip that it's going to endure. And then whatever wild hair I get going on things, sometimes I just look at my car and go like, I'm changing that now. And then I just change it and stuff like that. But other than that, as far as projects right now, it's the build off. You got to get a good jump on that. Some of these guys are already building some impressively creative stuff. So I got to make sure I step my game as much as I can. Anyways.
Oh, and that's another thing with the build off that I like is, yes, it's a build off, it's a competition, but you're really kind of just going after your own, getting the car there's victory number 1.
Oh, absolutely.
Making the trip is victory 2. Everything else, because there's going to be, and I had somebody on that, and they were like, oh yeah, the outlaw and the OG class are going to be the guys that come. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, some of these newbies and some of these blue collar guys that I'm talking to, you better not turn your head on them, man. They're going to bring some cool shit.
I think from top to bottom, people are going to bring some really cool stuff. I don't think granted, the outlaw class, when you're going to be able to throw that kind of money at things, you can bring some pretty wild stuff. Yeah. There's no denying that. I still think from top to bottom,
oh yeah,
you're going to see some pretty crazy stuff, and it's going to be impressive. I've had a couple guys call me and ask me questions about things, and I'm going to tell anybody I can to help them however I can. I tried to get more people signed up. Like I was egging all my buddies on, you should build. Nah, I can't. You should build. And I'd send them secret projects. Like, here, do this one, and then they don't, and they're like, I feel like I should have done it. I tried to tell you should have done it. Yeah.
Well, that was.
But, everybody's got things going on in their lives. I get it.
Yeah. With the 2-car garage thing, I completely understand it because we don't have a 2-car garage. We have a 2-car carport and 15 foot of enclosed space. Huh?
You don't have winter, so that helps.
Well, yes, but I understand that whole 2-car garage and like everything spreading out.
Yes.
And you got interior, so you got to tuck the interior currently in the office because it can't sit outside. And you got this, and it's like, so I completely understand that. And I said the exact same thing. Like, I'm glad that we have the Cadillac project, and I'm glad that that's going in that direction. But I kind of wish we were in a better place, and I would have been like, hey, let's do this rat rod build off, because I would have been. There's not a whole lot of people down here. A lot of y'all are focused around you.
Oh, we are what would be called the Rust Belt, so we have a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of it's better than others, but yeah, it'd be tough especially if you're working on a carport and you got a car that's probably taking up the entire space of it to try and start another build on top of it. So I get that.
I can't even. So there's a 15-foot section of the carport that's closed in behind the 20-foot, and I can't even roll the door down because the Cadillac is actually a foot into the garage portion, so it can be out of the rain on the other end.
How you do it? I used to build stuff in my dad's driveway out on the gravel, so I get it, but I don't know if I could do that anymore. I'm too soft, I guess.
Well, and also I'm not going out there in -degree weather.
Yeah.
Hoodie and long breeches is pretty much as cold as it gets here. So the fact of what y'all have to do to go out and enjoy your cars during this time or build your cars during this time, I feel for y'all. Because I am not built for the weather that y'all have.
Yeah.
Although
It's temporary.
summers, I envy y'all because y'all summers are a little, not a little. They're way better than the 100 degrees for most of the day that we have.
Yeah, we get them a few days, but we don't get them extensively like you do.
Yeah. Well, we have like 2 seasons. We have summer and summer junior.
Oh,
Like
nice.
we don't ever, it's rainy summer and then summer and then like semi chill summer and then more summer and then because we don't get the changes that y'all get. So that's kind of, my wife is from Pennsylvania, so that was one thing that she had to get over when she come down here was like, leaves don't change. Weather doesn't really change that much.
I think winter, especially for myself, I can't speak for everybody because some people love winter here. I'm not a winter fan. I figure you get one season to complain about, and mine's winter.
Yeah.
I'll take the heat in the summer all the time, and it makes you appreciate summer so much more. When you get through winter, when that first start of the heat comes in the spring, oh, it's just amazing to watch everything start to turn and the warmth that you start to feel and doors start to open, people start coming back outside again. Yeah, you definitely don't get to experience that down there, I'm sure.
Have you always been up there?
No, I have a bit of a longer backstory. I'm from New Zealand originally.
Okay.
So
how did you
then I was in California.
How did you end up here?
So when my dad was a child, like 3 years old, his family moved to New Zealand.
Okay.
So then he grew up as an American citizen living in New Zealand and then met my mom and they got married and had kids and then moved to the U.S. for a better economy to raise 3 young boys. So I've been in the States since 90. So I've been here a while now. This is my home. This is where I'm at. But yes, I am originally from New Zealand. So I have not lived in Minnesota my whole life. I've only lived here since I was 14, which now that I think about it was a very long time ago. Just dated myself a little bit because that was like 30 some years ago. So
35.
It's yeah, I've been here for a little while. But it's definitely not where I'm from. So I'm not a hardy Minnesotan that loves the winter. No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I've been in Florida since 89.
Okay.
That's where I was born.
Been there a while. You're used to it.
That's where I was born.
Oh.
Yeah, Ashley's been here since 2012. She grew up, did her whole thing, and then graduated high school, and her and her mom both moved down here. I'm like,
okay.
So what is one piece of advice that you would give somebody that's trying to get into what we do?
Ignore the people that are going to throw hate. It doesn't matter how good you think you are, how good you actually are. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to throw hate your way, and you just got to ignore it. Build what you want. Build for you. As long as you're happy with it at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. There's so much hate out there. Just ignore it. Do what you got to do to not listen to it. And don't get down on yourself because somebody criticizes your car. It's not for them. It's for you. And to me, that's the biggest piece of advice I can give. Build for you. Ignore the hate.
That's very good. More people need to understand that.
Yeah, because I'm out there on social media. I put myself out there. I do videos. I put my mistakes out there. I get some hate. I enjoy turning it on them in a funny way. I taking the comments and flipping it on them. Like, I can't even think of any examples right now, but I had to message a friend once because they were getting very upset on my behalf. And I messaged them and I said, don't get upset and worked up over this because I'm not. So if I'm not upset about it, there's no need for you to be upset about it.
Yeah.
Even though I appreciate the support and the being defended, don't go down that hole. It's just not worth it. Just find the humor. You got to find the humor in it. And
also, if you're trying to do social media, every time they comment, it's just a cha-ching, cha-ching.
Oh yeah, I thank a lot of them.
Yeah.
I thank them for watching the video and leaving a comment, and
it helps the algorithm. Thank you. Yeah.
You know, it just helps me. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it.
Yeah. That's it. It's funny because, there's not, I went from like when we just were normal social media, like I hated the people that like updated every day and like going to get coffee and then 10 minutes later coffee was good and I'm like, I hate those people. But now it's realized like with our lives, people know where we're at, people know what we're doing, people know what cars we have, people, there's very few or very little that's not, because I am who I am on the podcast in person. It's not an act. I don't have to play it up for the camera. It's just us. So like we'll see people and it's like, how do y'all know that? And it's because we just live our lives, behind talking to people or stories that I'll mention. And it's like, oh, you listened. And when we first started the podcast, there was a hometown hot rodder in Texas helped us out a lot. Because we were kind of doing what they wanted to do, but they moved, as soon as they hit record, they went more to the funny stick and less car. And we were car with like a little bit of trying to be funny. So they like helped us get started and help get our name out there. We grew really fast because of it. But I was talking to him one night and he was like, man, the first time you go somewhere and it's not a local show and somebody calls you by your name, he said, you're going to flip. And I'm like, it ain't going to happen. So that road trip I was telling you about, I was in Salt Lake City on a layover. Get off plane. I'm walking through the airport. I had a hat on. I did have one of our shirts on. But the guy's like, hey, man, have a good road trip. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, he's like, you're Matt, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're going on a road trip with Brian, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, listen to y'all. And I was like, in Salt Lake? Because you see you doing social media, you see the analytics, you know where people watch, you know where people listen. But it's like, how true is it until you actually run into somebody that like kind of secures it up? Like, oh, people actually do listen to me talk. It's weird.
It's a different experience when you start meeting people like all winter long. I'm going to build this car and I'm going to put it out there and I'm not going to see anybody for months other than my closer friends, and then I'm going to go to car shows and I'm going to see people that have been following along. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be odd for me, not for them. It's odd for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm awkward. But it's a very cool experience as well. Yeah. Like, thanks for watching. I genuinely appreciate when people like say hi to me and tell me they watch. It's very cool.
Well, and I get that a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't mean to bother you. It's never a bother. Oh. Come say hi. Don't act like, trust me, I am just as excited to talk to you as you are to talk to me.
Right. Exactly. Here, you want a sticker? I got stickers. Have a sticker.
Yeah. Like, and it's funny, and you were one of them when you reached out. I was like, oh shit, I know this guy. Like, I've wanted to reach out to you, but for some reason just haven't. And then it comes around and I'm like, and you reached out, was normal conversation, but I've had people reach out and they're like, well, here's my YouTube, here's this, here's that, here's this. And I'm like, dude, I follow you. I know exactly who you are. You do not need to give me the 10-point rundown on why I should talk to you. I know exactly. I'm glad you reached out. Please talk to me. I love it. And people don't understand. Like, I genuinely love talking cars. I'll talk about cars that I don't even like just to talk to you about a car. Just
that's awesome.
Because I'm happy. Well, I'm happy if you're happy. Right. Like you said, I'm not a big muscle car guy. But if I walk by and I'm like, hey, that's a cool car. Hey, nice. And he wants to talk to me about it. we're going to stand there and talk about his car. I don't care what it is. If you dig it, I'm good with it.
It's a cool car is a cool car. And like I said at the beginning, like I like everything. And stock is just my least favorite. It's not that I'm against it. It's not me.
And it is. And
I'm looking at it like, where can I cut that? And people like, would you cut that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'd cut that. I would cut that in a second. I mean, I'd stress about it the entire time, but I would cut it.
Yeah. And that's, and it, like you said, your dad being more on like the barn find, like it is what it is. That's exactly the same comparison as me and my dad. My mom and dad have a beautiful Fairlane that is teetotally not teetotally. It's got cutouts on it and a vintage air system. But other than that,
factory.
It is. I mean, it is immaculate factory. Exactly. Somebody went through and nut and bolted this car, and it is clean.
That would scare me. I'd just screw that up somehow.
And I'm like, it's a beautiful car, but I see it's like. If I was a little bit lower, maybe just the stance a little bit. I come from the generation of big wheels, so like everything needs 20s on it at least. Like I'm that guy. So I'm like, put a set of, nice little wide set of Mickeys on the back of it, get her down a little bit, looking good. But then also, I dig it the way it is now because they love it. And it's a perfect, it fits the mission for them perfectly. They're looking for an ice cream cruiser. They want to get in the car. They want to go grab lunch, go pick up some yard eggs, or go pick up, go get ice cream, go to a date night, whatever. 30, 45-minute circle around their house. That's where they want to be, and it does that great. The truck they had prior, I didn't want to drive it 45 minutes. It was a 34. And I'm not tall, but I'm a bigger kid. My dad's
a lot of room in them.
Yeah, I mean they were a little smaller in 1934. They were a little shorter than him. They were a little smaller than him. And watching them accordion themselves in and out of it with a 32-inch LeCar shifter like in between their heads. Don't get me wrong, it looked gangster as hell. But not the car for the mission.
I got a 28 Model A that I built. That's a gasser. And I really love the car. It was the first car I ever built. And I'm 6'4", man. It is not comfortable in there for me. And it's probably why I stopped kind of not driving it really a whole lot. It kind of sits more than I drive it. But I love the car. It's not comfortable for me. So I get the whole space requirements for everything else I built is all laid out. Like the Bel Air is plenty of leg room.
Yeah.
The shoebox, I can practically lay in that thing. It's so laid out, just some room.
Oh, and also the challenges of a 20s and 30s cars. You can get a little bit.
How'd they fit in those things? Like,
I have no. Well, I mean, they were shorter.
Tall?
They were short.
That's part of it.
And they were also going through a depression where they had no food, so none of them looked like they ate McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
We like food. We eat it.
We definitely do.
But there's ways, because when I was doing the Model A, I was talking to Zach and Chris Bumpus, and they were talking about ways of getting a tall guy to fit in that better. And I'm like, okay. And I was going to adapt it to my dad's, because I built a seat for his truck. And the one way that you can do it is the Model A seat pan. You cut out the wood, but cut holes in it where your butt can sit down in it, and use the beach chair, weave, and kind of sit yourself in it, in the seat instead of on top of the seat. But with his seat, we took the Dodge Caravan middle seat and took the back off of it, slid it back up against the wall, and then I turned the back of the seat around and kind of moved it to get the layback that he wanted, because that seat's so deep in a 34 truck, it pretty much filled the hole for the door. So we had to slide it back, and then I just put 2-inch dog bed foam and stretched the fabric back over it. It looked pretty good, and then just built brackets to make it, and it actually made it a little more tolerable, but you were still, knees up. Ankle doesn't bend that way to get to a throttle pedal. I don't care what you do. 2-foot driving, because there ain't no way to get that right foot across underneath the column to get over to a brake pedal. It's just dealing with your bullshit.
Yep, absolutely.
So where can people find you?
Yeah, Simon Says Garage on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's where I'm at. I don't use Instagram a whole lot, so people do reach out to me on there once in a while. I don't see it for a while because I don't. I'm a one-man show. It's a lot to keep up with. I'm sure you're very well aware of, and I wish I could post more, but it's from the working on the cars to editing the videos to videoing the videos and getting it all posted. It's a lot to keep in check. But Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, those are the big ones.
That's my problem, is filming. I forget to film.
It's a lot.
Or I'll take.
Then you got to make sure you're moving the camera, and the camera's got to be able to see what you're doing.
Or I'll take the camera out there, I'll set it up, and then it gets to look at my butt for 30 minutes because I forgot to move the camera to where I'm working. Or I get 30 minutes of the car. I'm not even in the shot because I'm on the other side of the car. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, my wife comes out and she'll help me once in a while. She'll be like a camera person for me. That's huge. Then I can just focus on doing this and saying that and whatever, and she can help with the camera. But she doesn't want to be out in the garage every night, and I don't blame her. I mean, that's kind of my domain. She's been working too,
Yep. Well, I'll make sure that all of that can be found in the show notes. Before I go through our list of advertisers, is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to?
Oh boy, there's so many people. I don't have any sponsors that I need to thank, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to forget anybody. I got such a good group of friends, and we'll just leave it at that.
10-4. Well, make sure you go show Why Not Fab some love, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Go to Throttle Attic, use the code word HOTROD to get saved 15% off. Johnny Jalopy, Facebook, YouTube, johnnyjalopy.com. Also, Wrenching for the Future. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Psycho Fab on Facebook and Instagram. All right, till next time, guys. Get out and drive a shit. Later.